Hi, dear friends and cultural creatives. This is Bruce. I'm back here for the December newsletter. My, how time is flying, and so is the evolution. As we keep our eyes open, we see the world is in a state of upheaval, and all of this is really a preparation, a chaos that precedes the formation of a new world. And this world that we're talking about is the one I've written about with Steve in Spontaneous Evolution. And it's very interesting because we talk about evolution as the coming together of individual units, coming together to form community, and this is a pattern of evolution. And it's interesting because even the motto of the United States, E pluribus unum, and it says, from the many come one. And this is exactly what the evolution of the whole world is about to experience, and it's really part of the whole U.S. motto and the credo of what our country was built on. And so while we're seeing this evolution and chaos start, we're also seeing the action of Occupy Wall Street. This is a visual representation of the change and evolution that's in front of us right now. And why this is important is this is people standing up for a simple reality. The world is not sustainable. It is no longer supporting us, and we must make a change in our behavior to take us out of an inevitable extinction and into a world we can thrive into. And it's very interesting because at this time, what is Occupy Wall Street all about? It's really talking about how the moneyed interest, how the corporate presence is actually changing the course of human evolution. And why I really want to bring this up is because rather than talking about the corporate presence, we are really talking in the political arena about whether there should be more government or less government. One side says government is way too big, take it apart and throw it away, and the other side is saying no, government is needed to really help us secure a uniform and healthy future. And to me, this is the most important point. It's not the question of whether more or less government is important. It's actually the question of corruption of government. Government is great. Government keeps us all together. In the human body, we have 50 trillion cells. All the cells have different jobs, whether they work for the heart, whether they work for the digestive system, whether they work for the lungs. They all have their different jobs. But there's a government. The government is called the nervous system, the central nervous system. The nervous system's function is not to tell how individual cells should carry out their jobs and what they should do in their day-to-day life. The function of the government of the body, which is called the brain, is actually to coordinate the actions of all the different entities to work in harmony toward a collective end. And this is exactly what the role of government should be. The government should be there to do two fundamental things. Protect each citizen's rights so that they can live the life that we talk about in the pursuit of happiness. But it's also there to protect the commons. And this is one of the most important missions of a government, is to make sure that we do not destroy the environment, do not destroy our water, our air, in the process of seeking corporate greed. And yet, the government is now corrupt. We also say, okay, let's get rid of the government. In fact, is that be throwing the baby out with the bathwater? The whole thing we must do is get corruption out of the government. The rules of the government are necessary and imperative. I do not trust General Motors to make sure that I live in an area or atmosphere with clean air and clean environment. I would not leave that to corporations to decide how my world should be kept, because corporations are self-serving and only looking for a profit. I'm looking for a government that is free of corruption, a government free of the manipulation by the private industry and the private money to give them the world that they seek at the expense of our world. So the argument, more government, less government? No, wrong argument. The whole point should be government without corruption. We need this, as the brain is responsible for coordinating the functions of 50 trillion citizens called cells in my body. We need our government to help us coordinate our behavior and integrate our lives so that we then create a much more wholesome and thrivable future. So while we're out there and the Christmas season is coming and Occupy Wall Street is going to get a little pressure from Mother Nature, the whole point is this: keep the movement alive. Keep this change going. It is our passport to a future where we can survive, thrive, and live on this planet in the way we were meant to. The Garden of Eden. This is what we were provided with, and this is where we shall return. And I hope you see that as part of our December issue of thinking about what we can do for the future, what we can do for ourselves, and what we can do for our beautiful mother planet, Gaia. I wish you a happy holiday season, and I look forward to seeing you again in January. Thank you.